I took my mom shopping in New York City and she made me cry. I have worked with over 400 plus clients, and trust me, I have seen it all. Every hesitation in the fitting room, every body type, every single style block imaginable. And to be honest, I thought it would be easy with this shopping trip for my mom. It's my mom. I know what I'm doing. I know the stores in New York City. This is done and it's going to be great. But what I experienced was so different than what I anticipated. And in this video, I'm going to share more about the styling experience of my mom in New York City and why she made me cry. Now, my mom is in her late 60s, and she is the kind of woman who has given everything to everyone else in her life. Me, my brother, my dad, other family members, and she had always put herself last. And that includes her health. She was working full time, she was taking care of us. And so she really did not prioritize her health and wellness. Well, now that she has been retired for a few years, she has hit a huge health milestone recently. She has been going to the gym, she's been eating well, she's been prioritizing herself and showing up for herself in a new way. And her body has changed a lot as well. She is now a size 14. And so a lot of her clothing that was hanging in her closet was too big on her. So I invited her and my dad out to New York City to be with my husband and I and to show them the city and everything that's going on in there post COVID. I was really excited to host them and to show them around because it has been a while since they have been in New York City. And I was just excited to show them a city that I love. So, because of her new journey on her health and wellness and her new lease on life, I was like, I'm going to take you shopping. We are going to do a whole styling experience in New York City because the best way to give back to your family is to show them and have them experience the gifts that they helped you develop. And my mom was definitely a big role in Next Level Wardrobe, and she really fostered my creativity with style throughout my life. Now, as a personal stylist, I have seen how transformational style can be, and I know how complicated it gets when you have spent years, if not your whole life, feeling like your body wasn't made for fashion. So that has been my mom's story her entire life. She has been a range of sizes from 24 to 14 to lower than that. And she has really struggled to find her style in stores because of her size. And so because she's been plus size, mid size, everything in between, she has felt really disappointed by the shopping experiences. And I remember when I was growing up, my mom and we would shop as a way of bonding. So she would take me to the local mall and she would go shopping for me and put together these amazing creative outfits. I probably wouldn't wear them now, but they were fun when I was a little girl. And she really had so much joy in style. And I remember her radiating that when we were putting outfits together and going shopping, etc. But she never really got to do that for herself. And now at 67 years old, I really wanted to treat her to this special experience because just to celebrate everything and show her how special she is. So, usually when my mom shops, she goes to TJ Maxx, Marshalls. I guess you could say she's a Maxinista. Is that what they call the TJ Maxxers? And she's always looking for a good bargain. And it's not because she couldn't afford more, we can, but it's because she had trained herself to believe that she didn't really deserve more. Now, one of the first things that we did was a bra fitting. And ladies, if you have not done this in a long time, highly recommend that you do this immediately because it turns out she had been wearing the wrong size for years. In fact, She was wearing a bra that was 4 sizes too big. So I worked with a team at Bloomingdale's to make sure that she had a bra that fit her in the cup and in the back. So walked into the lingerie department, asked someone if they could do a bra fitting for my mom. They took her into the room, they measured her back, and then they brought her a series of different brands of bras for her to try.
Just got my first at 67 years old. Bra
Whoa.
fitting.
Oh my gosh. Are you wearing the right size?
No, I was not wearing. I was wearing 4 sizes too big.
So that was really incredible to have her experience what a proper bra fitting is. And it was her first one at 67 years old. Next, I wanted to ask my mom about her makeup routine because I remember seeing drawers of makeup probably expired at her home. And so I asked her about it. What do you do for your makeup? What are you looking for? And she looked at me and said, routine? What are you talking about? I get my makeup from Marshall. And so I knew we had to go to Sephora. We went to Sephora in Soho and we met with this amazing makeup artist that you see here on the screen. Highly recommend that you work with her. If you are in New York City, you can book the appointment on their website. And she was empathetic, she listened, and she created a very simple routine for my mom. In fact, by the end of it, I was like, let's just take all the makeup because my mom needs each and every step. She was excited. And you can see here her before and her after, and she was glowing. So we walked out of Sephora with a new makeup routine that was easy to do, but it also made her feel great. And so next, we walked into Soho and we went into a store called Potry. Now, if you are a curvy lady, you know that a lot of the stores do not carry certain sizes in store. And this was the case with Potry. They had lovely stuff. It was summer in New York City, so it was hot, but we found my mom a beautiful summer dress. She tried it on. It was in a core color, which I approved of. She did not approve, and it fit her perfectly. And so we decided to order it in an orange because they didn't have her size in store. That was okay because we got to try the size on. It was just a color change. So I ordered the dress for her and had it shipped to her home. Now, after all these areas were taken care of, it was time to go shopping for a new wardrobe. And again, I have worked in New York City. I'm a personal stylist. I know all the stores like the back of my hand. I was like, this is going to be so easy. I know where I'm going to go. I know we're going to find good things. And she's going to walk out with a bag because I know that was very, very important to her. I decided to take my mom to Bloomingdale's. I wanted to buy quality clothing for her, but have her keep it for a long time. Now, we could have easily gone to Macy's, H&M, Zara, etc., because honestly, most of the time, those stores do carry plus sizes in store. But I don't want that for her. I wanted her, again, to invest in higher quality pieces. So we went to Bloomingdale's on 59th Street. And I have seen firsthand how hard it is for our curvy clients to have a special in-store shopping experience. I was really hoping that this experience at Bloomingdale's would be different. I mean, it is their flagship store. It takes up an entire city block. However, the shopping experience with my mom for clothing at Bloomingdale's really opened my eyes because I was shopping with her as an adult and as a personal stylist, and I can understand and empathize more all of the feelings that she was feeling, that she has felt throughout her life, versus when I was a little girl and I didn't know what was going on. The whole experience was bittersweet, it was exciting, and it was sad at the same time. And in fact, it made me cry multiple times. Now, there are three things that I learned in this shopping experience with my mom in New York City. Number one, what style rules do you have and which ones are no longer serving you? In this case, my mom was shopping the sales rack, even though we could afford full price items for her. But it was the behaviors that had developed throughout the decades of her life. And a great example of this is when we were in Bloomingdale's. I was looking around at all the beautiful product. It was full price. And I look around and I'm like, where's my mom? Well, lo and behold, she was at the sales rack and she had a huge smile on her face as she was flipping through the racks looking for that bargain. Now, when I asked her, Mom, what are you doing here? And she's like, well, you can't take the bargain out of a girl who likes to shop the sales. Ha ha ha.
Mom, why are you shopping the sales section?
Because you can't take the bargain out of a person that's always looking for a good bargain.
Well, it made me wonder how many style rules do we have for ourselves that are no longer serving us? So, my mom used to have to shop on sale. Now she doesn't have to. So, I encouraged her to rewrite those style rules that she once had for herself. And it made me wonder how many of us have style rules that are no longer serving us. Maybe they did at one point in our life. It could be shopping the sales rack or not wearing a certain color because you don't think it looks good on you. But my question to you is what is no longer serving you and what style rules can you say goodbye to? The second thing I learned is that a lot of women don't like to look at themselves in the mirror. Now, in my work with clients, I've really seen the power of clothing, our wardrobes, and our beliefs around ourselves, especially when we are in the fitting room. Now, I have been in a lot of fitting rooms with client, whether virtual or in person, and think of a fitting room as a therapist's office. That is when the truth comes out, the real observations about oneself comes out into the world, and it is like a therapist's office. So when my mom and I were in these various fitting rooms in the stores in Bloomingdale's, my mom mostly shared in that room what she did not like about her body. Now, to remind you, she had worked so hard to get healthy. She's on a good track with her wellness. She's accomplished so much, but in the fitting room, it was a big laundry list of what she didn't like about her body. And there was a moment that I had her try a garment on. It looked fantastic on her. It was this pink jumpsuit. It fit her perfectly. She used to wear jumpsuits back in the day. I was so excited for her. And I'm like, Mom, turn around, look at yourself in the mirror. And she didn't want to. And it made me really sad because she admitted to me that she never looks at herself in the mirror. And I saw it firsthand. As her daughter, it made me really sad and it made me want to cry right on the spot. I wanted her to see how beautiful and vibrant she looked. I wanted her to see what we see in her every single day, but she had a really hard time to take a minute, absorb the new clothing, absorb this new identity that she was after, and look at herself in the mirror. And not for 5 seconds, really look at herself in the mirror. So, my question to you is when is the last time that you celebrated something about your body, that you were excited to look in the mirror? And if you have a hard time, I see you, I understand, but let's work on that together and improve it. The third thing that I learned in this experience with my mom is the fashion industry is horrible at supporting curvy women or any particular body type that is not within their wheelhouse. Now, it is so important to acknowledge the fashion industry was not set up to support curvy women. And honestly, I have a huge bone to pick with them about this. At Bloomingdale's, I constantly had to ask the sales associate for sizes, which was usually in the back, or they didn't even make it at all. And this really disappointed me because my mom's dream of walking out of a store with a bag in her hand in New York City wasn't going to come true at Bloomingdale's. So, overall, the fashion industry is not set up for people of particular heights or body types to have success, and it sucks. And overall, Bloomingdale's was a pretty disappointing shopping experience. Now, the happy ending of me sharing that my mom walked out with bags in her hand and she got a whole new wardrobe in New York City as a size 14 wasn't true. It didn't happen. And so this story doesn't have the happy ending that you expected, but that is a reality for many curvy women that just want to walk into a store, purchase something, and leave. And it also reminded me how much work the fashion industry has left to do. So in the end, my mom got a new fragrance, she got new makeup, she got some new sneakers from Hoka, and she got a new bra, and then she got a new dress. So we got her some stuff. But I was disappointed because as a firstborn daughter and as a personal stylist, I was determined to get her an entire new wardrobe, especially in New York City. But unfortunately, that just did not happen. Now, that shopping trip changed everything for me as a personal stylist and as a daughter. And that shopping trip brought my mom and I closer. We went to lunch after the Bloomingdale's experience and we had a heart to heart. My dad was there, my husband was there, and we got very emotional. And my mom had shared with me, how she struggles to look in the mirror, how she has this goal she wants to hit next. And I'm like, Mom, let's just celebrate how far you have come and your new style and what you like and keep it moving in that direction. And we had a very honest and raw conversation at lunch. We were crying, everyone was looking about what this meant to her and how she wanted to move forward. So, overall, when I think back on that shopping trip, it was positive for the most part because it was filled with a lot of self reflection. And post shopping trip, my mom started thinking about how she wanted to change her style rules going forward. So, one thing she mentioned to me was that she wanted to let go of the style rules that were no longer serving her. So, rules about fabric, about pockets, very specific rules that she has for herself in terms of how she thinks she is supposed to look. And so that was really positive to hear because as a personal stylist, I work with clients one to one on rewriting their style stories. So it was really special to do this for my mom. Now, the main takeaway for me was why I started Next Level Wardrobe in the first place. This experience made me think back to my childhood. Now, shopping was a way for my mom and I to bond. She always loved fashion, but because she had a hard time finding her size, she shopped for me instead. I'm the only daughter, so this was our special way to spend time together. Now, when I was young, I remember my mom getting such joy out of dressing me up, bringing to life the outfit she envisioned. And trust me, I had head to toe looks with the accessories, with the colors, with the patterns. And she always made sure that I felt my best, even when she didn't feel like hers, and even when she couldn't find clothing she wanted to wear in store. And while she could walk out of the store with a bag, it was hardly ever for her. And through this moment of reflection, of reflecting on New York and my childhood, it is where I realize my zone of genius as a stylist is because of my mom's struggles. And it comes from her experience of not being seen for decades. Now, I realize that Next Level Wardrobe exists because of my mom. It was through her heartache that I was able to develop my love of expressing creativity through clothing. And my mom always encouraged me to study fashion, to go after my dreams, to study it in college, to live in London, to live in New York City. And it was her who encouraged me to go for my dreams in an industry that did not set her up to achieve hers. She showed me how to have fun with style, how to be creative, how to wear the colors. And Next Level Wardrobe exists because of my mom. Now, while this story did not end with a happy ending, that does not mean the journey is over. Unfortunately, my mom's story and so many others are not enough for the fashion industry to change. So the disappointing cycle of excluding certain sizes continues, and it shouldn't have to be this hard for anyone. And that is why I am so passionate about helping motivated women of all ages and sizes feel supported, seen, and celebrated in their style, no matter their size. Because if you have ever felt invisible, in the fitting room or walking into a store or like clothing just wasn't made for your body, you are not alone. And I know that I can do my part as a personal stylist working in the fashion industry to show everyone that they deserve to be seen, heard, and listened to. And as a founder of Next Level Wardrobe, I promise to continue to do just that. If this resonated with you, and if you have ever felt unseen in the fitting room or like the fashion industry has left you out, I want you to share your story in the comments below, and I would love to read it. If you are ready to finally feel seen and supported and celebrated in your style, I want you to be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel because I have a lot more fashion stories and how-to guides coming up that I want you to learn from. Thank you, Mom, for letting me share your very personal story publicly. And I also want to thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.